Welcome back everyone for a new Cells history. This will be a relatively short one because we only have 4 titles in the game series. That is the first person shooter slash elements of horror series, the F.E.A.R series. As you know, as I said, there's only 4 titles in the series to look at. In order, we have F.E.A.R 1. Then we have F.E.A.R Files, F.E.A.R 2, and of course, F.E.A.R 3. So, with that said, one of the few I can honestly say I have. The F.E.A.R series in sales numbers. Uh, the series would start off in 2007 on, of course, the 7th console generation. And funny enough, the entire franchise lifespan would be strictly in the 7th console generation. Its entire lifespan. Total, the franchise only went on for 4 years, believe it or not. That's it, 4 years. Yet it's actually looked back today, several years later, towards the end of the 8th console generation. And I think a lot of people will agree that we tend to look a little bit more fondly now to the F.E.A.R series as a whole. Now, in my opinion, F.E.A.R 1 is probably the best in the series. That's just my opinion. I'm sure there are people who probably feel F.E.A.R 2 is the best or F.E.A.R 3. F.E.A.R Files is just more like to understand a bit more on the story and things, more so than anything else. So, with that said, first up, we have F.E.A.R, the original, released in 2007, of course. It was released on 3 platforms. It was released on PC, PlayStation 3, and the 360. Uh, Sadly, I could not find a overall like critic score on PC or PS3 version. I could only find a critic score of F.E.A.R 1 on the 360. It got a 8.6 out of 10, which is actually not bad. Total, the game actually did not sell huge numbers. I thought the series, I guess, ended up more of a niche following type game, like some others I personally really like, ended up niche, unfortunately. But F.E.A.R 1, at least of physical sales numbers, keep in mind that's excluding digital sales because it's kind of hard to really find digital sale numbers. But F.E.A.R 1 physical sales was estimated to be about 880,000 copies. So probably if you add digital, it probably sold. Oops, it probably sold over a million easily. But at least physical sales, it was 880,000. But F.E.A.R 1, as I said, I thought personally was the best, but to each their own. Next up, we have actually F.E.A.R Files, which was released also in 2007, funny enough, and it was released exclusively for the 360, which is interesting. F.E.A.R Files got a critic score of a 6.9 out of 10. Not great, but it was really just addition add-on, really, you could say. Until sales numbers, F.E.A.R Files only did 90,000 in sales. So it's not surprised why the game is a little bit more. It runs a little bit higher in price because it didn't sell that well. Plus, it was a console exclusive, weirdly enough. At least I couldn't find anything about being on PC. It may have gone on PC release, but I'm not sure. Next, we have released in 2008, just a year later, F.E.A.R 2. Now, it was also released again on PC, PS3, and 360. I, from what I could tell, the PC got the best overall critic score. It got an 8.5 out of 10. The PS3 version got an 8.2 out of 10, and the 360 got a 7.9 out of 10. I was kind of surprised that the 360 actually got the lowest overall critic score, but okay. It actually would be the second bestseller, at least in physical sales numbers. It did around an estimated 1,080,000 in total sales numbers. So it did, at least in physical sales, about 200,000 more than the previous regular installment, excluding the files. So at least it was an increase in sales, and it managed to sell over a million, though with digital, it probably sold like maybe 1.2, 1.3, hard to say. Still not bad overall, and I still thought it was a pretty solid game overall. F.E.A.R 3 is probably the most divisive in the series, at least in my opinion. I didn't like it as much, but I still think it's a pretty solid title overall. But it, of course, would also get released on all three platforms: PC, PS3, 360. Released in 2011, of course, and this would be the final installment in the series, unfortunately. PC version would get a 7.5. It actually got the lowest score, so that's interesting. The PS3 and the 360 both got the same, which was a 7.8. So not too bad overall. Sorry. Um, but total physical sales worldwide, it was estimated to have done around 1,997,000. So just shy of 2 million copies in physical. Including digital, it probably sold roughly, I would say, anywhere from probably 2.2 to 2.5 at least. So it actually sold not too bad. It's by far the best seller of the franchise. Easily. I mean, it sold total sales. It basically did F.E.A.R 1 and F.E.A.R 2 combined in sales for F.E.A.R 3. Which is probably why you can find F.E.A.R 3 by far the cheapest out of all the releases. But with that said, still regardless, I still think at least the series remains pretty solid overall, in my opinion, in quality, at least compared to other first-person shooter franchises. But to each their own. It's hard to say, to each their own. Personally, I still like, I think the Dead Space series, maybe just a bit more overall aspect, because Dead Space 1 and 2, Dead Space 3, which in the future I'll probably talk about the Dead Space series eventually. But with that said, that was sales history for the F.E.A.R franchise. Stay tuned in sometime in the future, probably about a month or so from now, after this video, for the next sales history list. And in the next sales history list, we will be looking at a Souls series. But until next time, I'll see y'all again. Stay safe out there. And see y'all again. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. And I have a special best to worst list also in the works, so stay tuned for that as well. But I hope you enjoyed the Tekken Dark Resurrection music in the background.